Can you hear me, Sarah? Sarah, can you hear me?
No,
No?
but I just
Okay.
logged into their. Not the one I. Oh, you have to do something. I have to log into the KW Appleton
Oh,
Zoom to be able to
sorry.
record it.
Okay,
Yep, yep.
sorry.
No, that's good. So I saved it on here. So when
Okay.
you set up for a class, do the front desk
Okay,
1001
Okay.
because that lets me record
perfect.
because that's where I'm setting the meeting up to.
Okay,
It also then makes me the host so I can share my screen and stuff like that. So if I'm on as your Oshkosh, I can't share my screen because
Okay.
I'm not the host.
right, okay. All right, sorry. I was
Nope,
trying
that's
to-
good. We're good.
Yeah, he's like, Sarah, can you hear me? So,
I can't hear him, no.
I can hear you guys.
I can hear him now.
Your prize student is here.
Hey, all right. All right. All right. So it is noon and we will get started. So I was asked to do a deeper dive on commissions and the new commission sheet per se, because we've got some confusion. So let me cast the screen here. All right, so in a review, we are going to be down here in step 7, but you got to do all the steps to get to step 7. So we will review it from the beginning and then dive into questions and special case scenarios. So if I am here in my opportunities, I guess I'm going to start by saying, has anybody gone all the way through? I know Chris did an offer.
And then it got.
I have a listing coming up.
Oh, okay. And Kevin did a listing. Okay.
Nope, I'm in the middle of a listing.
You're in the middle of a listing. Okay, perfect. Any challenges? Chris, obviously you called me with a couple challenges. What did you find? Any other challenges or any other issues beyond what's?
No, I think I just had to kind of just like know that that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yep.
But no, not so far. I mean,
Right. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So then we're going to dive in. We're going to assume that we have all of these things done as far as our contact is in, our opportunity is in, our forms are all good, and we've gone through, and we're now at the stage where we have received an offer for either a listing or we've made an offer for a buyer. I am going to quickly try to find one here that I don't have a commission already accepted on so that we can play with it. Actually gonna go back. I think I have one under here. Okay, so in the sales pipeline then, as you remember, you've got your opportunities all entered in and they look like these little cards once they're all in there. Okay, so we're gonna play with this one here on Knapp Street. Please God, somebody have a buyer for that one. I need to get rid of it. So you've got your details, your seller profile, your documents. In the documents then you've got all your compliance you would have put on all of your listing. And then you can also, once you get an offer, you're gonna put all of your offer information in here under the under contract button. And then we're gonna go to this offers tab. Okay, so here's my pretend offer. I'm gonna hit change response so that we can play with it a little bit here. So here's my offer. I've gone through and entered it in. Start from the beginning. Okay, you can name it whatever you want to name it. If it's a situation where you're the listing agent, my best practice is to put the buyer's last name as the first part of the offer, just because I ran into that where I was entering multiple offers and trying to keep them straight. entering in the offer date, the close date, all of that kind of fun stuff. Just straight off your offer. You're just basically entering everything in. You've got your information from the, this is my listing. So here's all the, you enter in the buyer information, the buyer's agent information. You're gonna enter in the terms. So in this particular one, they're offering me $100,000 cash, which would be fantastic because it's only listed for 92. $100,000 cash, any earnest money that they're gonna pay, and then of course any warranty or seller's concessions. And then I would enter in the pros and cons in the summary here and hit save. Okay, that is the first step. I did get a call on this. Somebody said my commissions doesn't work. I said, did you enter an offer? And they went, what? Okay, so we have to enter that offer in order for the commissions to go live. The next step is you have to have an offer that's accepted. So you might enter 3 or 4 of these because it's your seller and you want to put that neat sheet together, all of that. And then you have to pick which one gets accepted, okay? So I'm gonna hit accept here, and when I do that, you'll see that this all of a sudden goes black, and that's when you can get in there, okay? So now I have an accepted offer for $100,000, and my commissions, when I click on it, comes up and figures it all in there, okay? You'd see me, I didn't touch anything. That is the way it comes up, because it's pulling all the information from your listing information with your percentage in it. It's pulling the information from the offer. It's all that stuff's already in there. You don't have to do anything to it. Okay? Now, yeah.
So Sarah, I had one that I had to transfer over that I got after the second. I got it on first.
Yep.
And all of my stuff didn't transfer over.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we were trying to pull everything over, like the commissions and stuff.
Okay.
And none of that pulled over. We had to actually go in and figure it out.
When you put your opportunity in, did you fill out everything into the opportunity with the percentage and everything? Because that.
Oh, it was a COLA.
Yeah, it was a COLA.
Okay.
You can't do 0.75.
You can. I'll show you. I'll show you. Yes.
Super.
Yes. You can't just use the pluses and the minuses. You have to be able. You have to go in there and type it. That's the difference.
We tried it.
It wouldn't. Yeah. So okay. So we'll play with this one here. We'll put in a co-broke. We'll do all that stuff. So this is if you're a single agent. So we're going to start with scenario number 1, which is if you're a single agent and a listing. Actually, we'll start with the easier one. You are a single agent, so single agent with a buyer. Okay, you review it. Yep. Good. That's it. That's all there is to it. You don't have to change anything unless you're donating to KW Cares. Okay. So if you're a single agent with a buyer, the way that this commission comes up should be correct. There shouldn't be anything to change unless you're donating to KW Cares. Okay. If you're a single agent with a listing, we have to add an admin fee and a bonus if charged. Okay, so when you take a listing, what do you charge for commission? We're not debating it, we're not talking about it, I'm asking a question. Luann, what do you charge on a listing? 6 plus 225? 6 plus 225. Okay, so then we're going to pretend, since this is my listing, that's what we charge, right? It doesn't matter the numbers, we're just going to go through it. So on this listing, I charge 6%, but then, of course, I went to the 3.6 because that's my split, right? But I've got the 225 admin fee. So on a listing for a single agent, your commission is going to come up, and you're going to come down here to the bottom, and you're going to hit add item. And on that item, the first thing you're going to add is the deduction. Okay? And And you're gonna go in there and you're gonna say 225 admin fee. Oops. Here's that darn keyboard again. The page up is right next to the shift and it's driving me nuts. All right, there we go. And then you're gonna type in Keller Williams cities and put in the address. Once you do it a couple times, it'll start predicting it. Okay. And then you're going to hit add. And you're going to see over here, because this is the easiest place to check it. Oh, yep, there it is. There's my deduction for 225. So there's what the market center is going to charge me, right? Then I'm going to go in again because everybody here passes it through. I'm going to go in again and I'm going to hit add item and I'm going to call it a bonus. Okay, it's a 225 bonus and it's $1 for dollar. You just hit 225. In Chris's case, she's going to enter 495. I've done it depends on the situation. I've done everything from 495 to 0. And I've eaten the 225. It just depends. So you enter that in and you hit add. And again, you'll see it come in over here. Now this time it'll come in at the top because it's doing an add. So you can see it's almost like it's going through as a, almost like a, here's all the additions up here, like a simple spreadsheet, right? You've got all your additions up here and then they start taking out the deductions and then you can get to the bottom line. Okay, so you've got your royalty, you've got your cap, and then of course the 225 admin fee. Okay, so that's for a single agent, just straight up listing. Addison Jones sold it, you listed it, done. Okay, any questions on that one? Every time you have a listing, you need to enter these two pieces in. Okay. All right. Next eventuality. So Chris, tell me about your co-broke. That co-broke was what? You co-listed, sorry.
Yeah, it was 0.25.
Okay, so you listed with another agent in this office. And so it was just splitting between the two of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this would be the same as if you were on a team or if you're doing a co-list in that way. Now there's a couple of different ways to do that. Was it a true co-list or was it a referral?
Okay.
A co-list, okay. So the difference in that's the reason I ask those things is that units count, right? So if you call it a co-list, then you're gonna change your unit count. If you call it a referral, then you enter it in here as a referral and it doesn't change your unit count. So that's something you have to differentiate in your head. What is it really? If it's just a referral, okay, so now we're gonna do single agent referral. Now I gotta pay a referral fee. I don't know if I spelled that right, I did. I gotta pay a referral fee on this listing. If it is an inside referral, meaning it is someone within KWFC, so Fox Cities only, not Green Bay, not Eau Claire, not Milwaukee, not any place else but KW Fox Cities. So as it stands right now, that would be Stevens Point, Wausau, and here, okay? Then you would do an inside referral, and it's very similar. You would put in the amount, you know, if I'm gonna give them $500, and then I can go ahead and type in an agent. And if I hit add, you will again see now it's paying him $500 out of my money. Okay, that you do have to do the math on because those can range anywhere from a flat fee to a percentage. Okay, so those you will have to do the math on. We're gonna get rid of him. We don't want to pay him any more money than we have to. My brother. Then we hit add item. Okay, so now that was an inside referral. If we're going to do an outside referral, we're going to do the same thing, other than this does allow you to do a percentage. It will figure it for you then. Come on. It's not letting me enter that in. Try it again. You are going to have to enter in their tax ID number. Oh, it wants to figure it that way. All right, so you are going to put that in there. You're going to put in, you know, this came from Coldwell, Oklahoma. I had one do that, so that's why I'm going to use that. Okay. And you put in the agent name, the address, and all that. You're going to get all that from the W-9 because you got to request the W-9 anyway, right? On the referral. That's the way it would have been. You have all that, and you're going to hit add. Okay. Same thing, same way. You just got to put more information in. Okay. So that covers the referral aspect of it. Okay. Any questions on the referral piece of it? If it's a straight up referral, meaning you're getting credit for the whole unit and they're getting a referral, that's how you would add it. Okay. Now, the easiest way that I have found to do this, if you need to add a co-broke, is this top stuff stays the same. I go down here to mine and I say in Chris's case, come on, was 0.75. Give me the little box. When were you trying to mess with that, last week?
Yeah.
They're doing an update to the.
Yeah.
I got it to the week before in a training, so.
Yeah, I thought it used to work.
It did. It did.
Like, what?
It did. So if unit count matters, or if you're on a team, so then the next scenario would be team. I don't like using the word co-brokes because that means something to different people. Co-list is better. Because co-brokes, a lot of people talk about the co-broke being the other agent in the transaction. We don't care. In this scenario, it is not like it was in the green sheets where you had to enter in the other agent. We don't care. We kind of did that already in the offer. We identified the agent's name. So we don't have to bring them into our, there it goes. Ha. We don't have to go into, we don't have to go into who that other agent is because we did that in the offer already. So on our commission sheets, we're only worried about what the check that's coming to us and how that breaks out, okay? So you can see here, it says 0.75. As it stands right now, it is not auto figuring when you break that out. That is the update that should be coming out, I think, Tuesday. They are making a big change to the commission thing. And one of them was that it would auto figure that. But since we don't have that, it is not trusting my brain today. $2,700. Okay. So now when I take this down to 0.75 and I take this to 2,700 and I scroll here, I get an add agent. Okay. So I'm going to hit the add agent button and I'm going to put in the agent's name. Again, because it's a co-list, they're going to get credit for the 0.25. So that's why you want to do it this way. And now I'm going to struggle with the unit thing again. Because you got to hit it just right. Not 0.22. There it goes. It helps if you take it down to the 10th and then add the 100th. If you just try to enter in the 0.75, it doesn't go. If I got it to 0.7, then I could add the 5. Okay, just a little trick. And then this is 900. And now you can see, now that I have the 0.75 and I have these two that add to this, I no longer have the big red bar across the top that says unable to submit. It has to equal out. Because it has to, whatever's in these two boxes has to equal this box up here. So you got your total commission of 36, and then you can break it out into two different agents down here. And again, now I lost that add agent one because it equals. If I went in here and changed this to 2,500, then it would add me another add agent button where I could make another split if I needed to. Okay? So in this case, if you've got a team split or you've got something where it goes to the rainmaker and then it goes, or you have a co-list situation, that's how you do it.
You do the same thing, Sarah, if you had a listing.
Yep.
And there was an outside referral,
Okay?
and so you have to pay that, and then you have
You would add both things. You would add, so you would go in and you would add in down at the add item and do the outside referral, and then you would break out the commission there then after that as well. Yep. So that would be two steps, similar to doing the admin fee and the bonus. You're going to end up adding both in. If you have a KW Cares deduction, you're going to add that in on every one you do. I do want to clarify that as long as I'm talking about it. If you scroll down to the deductions, it says there's a KW Cares box. That's for KWRI Cares. That's for international cares. So that doesn't stay local. If you want it to be local, you have to do a deduction KW Cares local. Okay, so, and I don't know if anybody here does that on a regular basis, but just know that that's what you would have to do. Okay, does this make sense to add that agent? The first thing that you have to do, I don't like this co-broke payment. I don't think it,
They should get rid of that.
yes,
Don't
it doesn't
do
make
that.
sense. This works much easier, don't you think, than what you were struggling to do? So the key to discovering that add agent button is changing this commission box under the first agent that pops up. Once you do that, then it triggers, oh, they want to add another person into this, and it just works much slicker. Okay, makes sense? I'm not going to submit this because I'm not right, but once I had this totaled the way that I wanted to, and this all looked like it was correct, then I would hit this submit button here, and off it would go. Okay. What works on this one now, if you were watching the numbers, you saw this pay to office was bouncing all over. Because the agent that I split this with is capped and I'm not, then of course it's figuring our percentages differently. So the pay to office goes up. So it's very, you don't have to, you know, other than figuring this split because it's not automatically doing it, the rest of the math you don't have to figure out.
Okay, so we have a team. So if you click those little arrows, then it shows the details down and like if.
Yep. So here's mine. Here's my here's the bonus that went in. Here's the royalty and the cap stuff. And then you can see the deduction there for the admin fee. And then if I want to do a KW Cares, I would hit here to add item. And I can go into KW Cares and do something. Here's Chris's, so you can see he's capped, so he doesn't have any, so he's getting a straight 900.
So, okay, so, you know, when your cap anniversary comes,
Mhm.
if it's not gonna close till after.
It will show, okay, so you have to remember when you submit this commission sheet, it is a snapshot of today's
Right
situation. So I had a lot of them that I entered in for April. I entered them in April, submitted them, knowing that that bottom dollar is going to be wrong because they're going to close in May, and that's when I flip.
Okay. So you could put those in and add item as for your
Nope,
own royalty.
it will, nope, because then that goes into Winmore and it'll double charge you. Just know in your head that it's not right. Now, in about, don't hold me to this timeline, but I'm going to say a year, it's going to be real time all the time. Because the problem is right now, on the back end that the agents don't see, you do this in Command and you send it to Rachel. She actually takes that and imports it to a second system called Winmore. And that system is the one that actually pays you. This one is dead on correct all the time. This one is waiting for data from here. This data only gets sent once a month. So first of the month, they do a transmittal. They take everybody's closings and dump them back in here, and you'll see all your stuff in Command update. Now, I had a closing. I entered it in April. I didn't submit it yet, but I had entered it in April. I waited just because I wanted to see what it would do. And it said, you're getting the full check. You're totally capped. I knew that wasn't the case because I flipped in May. I went back in May, made an altercation, a change to it, and it updated and took out my royalty and my commission, because then all of a sudden it's saying, oh yeah, that you're not closing, but here's the next new information. So it told them that. In about a year, they're getting rid of Winmore and moving to what they call Cloudmore, which will be a direct link to Command. Then it will be an automatic update all the time, real time. Now we have that delay. So if you enter, you'll also notice if you enter 6 deals, let's say, in the month of May, your royalty and that never moves until those start to close and that transmittal happens. So if you put in 6 deals, one closes the 1st of June, one closes the 5th of June, one closes, you won't see that move until all of those things have filtered through all of that system. So there is still a little bit of the agent having to know where they're at and what deals they have coming forward, but some of it, all your past stuff, you know where you're at, if that makes sense. Because I have like 7 deals coming up in the summer that I know, but they all say the same thing right now.
Wasn't updated at all. Like it missed the whole bunch.
So they just did transmittal, so today would be a day to go in and kind of check around and see what updated and what didn't. Yep, after transmittal, you'll see it comes through. So does anybody have any questions on special case scenarios? Do you have any others you want to talk through on how you would handle, even if they're like one-offs, we don't know what this one would be, whatever? If you send it to Rachel, so it's exactly like compliance in the way that once you send that to Rachel, she reviews it. If there's something in there that's not correct, she will reject it and send it back to you. And you will get a little notification up here in the bell that says, both here and on your Kelly, which is why I had you download Kelly, that will say your commission event has been rejected, and then you can go back in and figure out why. There'll be a message on there from her, but it works the same way as compliance. As of right this minute, it will not go to your email. It's either on Kelly or again, here on the bell. You can see here, you get notifications that things have been approved or disapproved. Right here on the bell.
That's like the only place to keep track of things that are not, that need to be checked again or.
Mm-hmm. As of now, yes. Correct.
So, yeah, if I get one returned, I just leave it up there until I fix it and then dismiss it later.
Yeah.
Snagging.
So I have
Yeah, if you click on the bell, then this screen should pop up. Yep. Did they send it back to you?
What's up with that?
Well, we can go through and figure out what's up with that. That's easy. Does anybody else have anything? So I would just ignore, personally, I would ignore this button altogether. I don't see any reason for anyone to use it. Now, in other states, maybe. But in our state, in our situation, changing this initial commission here and unit. Now, you can do it where so in some team situations, they don't change the units, meaning the buyer's agent or something would get the full unit. As long as you change that commission, you don't have to change the units. So, for example, Patty's got a buyer's agent underneath her, she gets full credit for the unit, but splits the commission for the team split, then you just change, you can leave it at 0 and 1 on the units, as long as the money adds up, you're okay. So that's a per team kind of conversation, is what does your agreement say? Are you splitting money and units? Are you, some people get nuts about how many units they sold and they don't want to split them, so. I don't know. Not my deal. Okay. Any other specific questions that anybody wants to go through on commissions? Any other weird scenarios you want to talk through?
Well, I just have this one on my computer.
Okay, let's go see what it says. Hang on, Kevin, I gotta help Luann. I'll be right back.
No problem.
So she says.
Does that math work? Is that 3.6 of that? Oh, let me
I
just
have a
double check.
calculator right here.
Okay.
You can delete them if you go under your settings. You can hard delete them. Once you have to archive them first, and then we can hard delete. Okay. So that.
I have like 5 messages from him about this. And what real casual and
Because I have.
Let me show you.
Yeah. Bob's last name is support. Yes.
It would be that.
That's compliance, okay. So you've got approved for compliance.
Oh, that is fine. We should do one for him.
so the only thing she's saying is right is the commission.
Right.
So
Yeah.
then I have to figure that out.
Well, she should give you a little bit, it said 3.6, but we'll call her here in a minute and we'll ask her.
Because I would like to know why she's sending that back. What is she seeing that's different? So we'll yank her chain in a little bit here. Anybody else have any questions on commissions? All right. Kevin, you good on commissions?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, then I will say I have 28 minutes and I am here to let you know whatever else you want to know. What are you struggling with? What do you want to talk through? What's been challenging? Yes.
I just in here.
Okay.
So, I have listing that I read it. And I went to pull it up, you know, have an offer.
Yep.
And it's,
Okay.
so I can archive that old listing and not put in a new opportunity.
No. So you had it's okay. So that's a great question. Great question. All right. So Kevin, the question is that the listing expired, right?
Yep.
And it's now been relisted. And you want to go ahead and put in the new listing now. You did not extend it, or did you signed a whole new set of documents? Okay. So when we sign a whole new set of documents, this also applies when you have an offer that falls through, right? We do not go and start a whole new opportunity for that offer. Okay? And on either side. All right, so the scenario is that I talk a lot about scenarios because it makes it people understand it a little bit better. It's my listing and I get an offer. I submit it all because we're good. It falls apart in inspection, right? I didn't lose that opportunity. That opportunity is still there. I still have the listing. I just need to somehow be able to resubmit new paperwork for a new offer, okay? This next scenario would be I have a buyer. I have a buyer. We've put in 2 offers in 3 days and we've gotten lost out on both of them. How do I didn't lose that opportunity. It's not one that I should put as a lost opportunity and enter a new opportunity on because I still have the opportunity. I just need new paperwork, right? So this is how we do it. Let's see, I gotta go to one that I have. Oh, I don't know if I have anything in on this one. Let's see. Documents is actually what I need to do. All right. So if you go into your documents section, so this is definitely a documents compliance question. You go into your documents section, and on your case, because it's a listing and you're going to relist, in that scenario, you would have all of this would be the original listing paperwork. And you're going to go here under this little button that says listed, and you're going to see an add a version button. Add version. Now, if you hit add version, it's going to have you name it. So, you know, whatever you want to say, 2020 listing or re-signed listing or whatever you want to do it. I've been putting the address, like the buyers that I keep losing out, I've been putting their addresses in, 325 Taft offer, 1628 whatever offer. So that I know which one it is, because then when I go to add documents and stuff too, it'll ask you which one you want to put it in.
So, okay, just going back. on what you just said,
Yes,
kind of reading something.
yes,
So I've been writing an offer for a couple.
yes.
60,000.
Okay,
And
6
go back
offers.
2 weeks,
Yes,
and we lose every one.
yes.
I don't need to start a whole new opportunity.
No.
Well, then I'm good.
No, you do not start a whole new opportunity, because that opportunity, the thing that you created there by saying, this is my customer and here's this opportunity as a buy, doesn't go away. That's not a lost opportunity. It's just that particular listing didn't happen or that offer didn't get accepted. This opportunity still stands. And so you're just going to go in here and you're going to keep doing new versions until you get one that sticks. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I had a whole conversation
About.
about how are we ever gonna get our buyers a house?
Mhm.
Seriously.
Oh, it totally is. I have two buyers right now. Both of them have something to sell. And it's like, I either make them homeless by selling their house and they have nowhere to go,
No, we never-
because you're never going to get a contingent offer
No.
accepted right now.
No, so the where are we?
One has an accepted offer on their house. They took an offer on Sunday. So now at least we don't have to do it with a bump, and I can give them the accepted offer, and that I've gotten to fly through a couple times. But the other one, they're like, well, and I'm like, you got to figure out where you're going to stay, because there's no way we're going to get you a house and that timing's all going to work absolutely perfectly. I mean, you're just going to have to figure it out.
I saw something and I looked into it because I wanted to see how that happened. I sent a new listing, I thought it was. But, so it was first entered at 5:37 PM Friday. Now, who's entering it at 5:37? First recorded entry. Because that's 5:37 PM, I'm thinking, okay, that didn't hit the MLS. First recorded, I don't know, but anyway, today it's already sold, but it never would have showed up before 5 o'clock on Friday.
Right.
So are the agents specific? I don't know how they're doing. I don't know how they're doing that.
Zillow.
Well,
It's
it's,
Zillow. Everything that I've written on. So last week, Thursday, I wrote on a house. Wasn't even on the market for a day. He said it was all
Right.
Zillow. It was all Zillow.
Well, but what I'm pointing out is it was 5:37 in the evening. So it didn't. hit
That's
our
when the MLS approved it.
They might have entered it in the morning.
Right.
And been talking about it all day.
Are they
Yes.
working that late now?
Yes, I've
Yeah,
had
they've
people
been there
respond
since
to me.
6 o'clock. Yeah.
Yes, I've had MLS respond to me at 6 o'clock.
I got that on Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah. They are working that late, because here's the thing, they're probably, a lot of them are also working from home. So they might be working at different hours than they weren't, but even before that, I think there are some that work till 6. Because I have gotten things approved that late. So you're right, they're probably putting it in, and and it's in the NAR rules are MLS entry. So I could enter it if I enter it in the morning or the night before, because I sometimes enter things late at night when my kids go to sleep and I can think. I enter it the night before. I can put it on. I've got it entered. It's submitted. I put it on my Facebook. I put it out there for people,
Right.
and it could be a full 24 hours.
That contract is signed, it's available.
Correct. Yep. Yep. And that's the thing. And it's even, you sit there and in our office, How do we get things?
That's, that's why Patty's been, trying to get, having Kelly do the upcoming things
Yes.
on our, in the loop.
Yeah.
one and-
Because you're never gonna get it unless people see it in outcome.
Yes,
Because once it hits the MLS, you're screwed.
yes.
The Ripon realtor that had 8, she told me there were 25 showings in 2.
Mm-hmm.
So how? Those are like, no, I got it, and there were 3 other offers. I knew that, but I knew I was like that because there's finance. But how as realtors, how are we gonna keep our buyers even remotely happy when we can't? We have to find them listings in this office
Mm-hmm.
before the world. So,
And maybe we need to go back to, in that loop, you need to be putting out your buyer search of, because I know, Hope and I just talked about one this morning. Hope showed a property that I listed in Fond du Lac, and she said, oh my gosh, my buyers are contingent, we're not gonna get it, don't you think? And I went, I already have 3 offers, and it's, no, you're not gonna get it if it's contingent. And she said, okay, great, the house shows awesome. And we were talking about it back and forth, and she sent me one saying, hey, I'm listing the people's house that we were discussing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a buyer. Like, I have somebody that would like to look at it.
I'm calling outside agents.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know what else to do. I think that we could do better with them.
Mm-hmm.
But we all have.
Right.
Well,
It's like we all say.
Well,
we're
it's
gonna
almost
do it
like
and
it's gotta
nobody's doing it.
be a rule.
I think I'm afraid to say,
You don't
to
have to
go
say
and
the
say,
address.
hey, I have this coming up, blah, 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 and then the address gets on the up on the MLS screen.
No, I don't think we have to tell them.
Mhm.
No, we don't have to say the address, and if it's in our loop, it's private. So there's no rules about when it has to.
Now,
be.
you have to have the listing contract signed before you start giving specifics. You could say, hey, I'm meeting with somebody next week, but you can't, don't advertise even privately something that you don't have listed.
Right.
But,
Can you do,
Talk about
can
it.
you do
Right.
coming up? If, let's say, can you do coming soon on a Wednesday, but you're not really gonna have them sign it until Saturday?
In the loop. In our secret loop.
because it's private. It's just our agents.
But I could see where that could get sticky because. No, my concern is somebody else in the office could try to do this. That I'm just saying that with all my experiences,
You can wait until it gets signed, but don't try to get it in MLS the first day. I mean, we have how many days to get it in? You advertise it in the office for the first few days so that we can all.
But we all have to do that. I mean, I've been putting mine on comments. And they're sold every day, but not even from the sellers. I don't really care who sells it. I really don't. Because I'm not making any more money to sell it to somebody on the outside than on the inside.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, as we discussed this, that's where the rule came from, is that there are offices where you do make more money if you can sell it internally. And I know that. Like, if you can do it, your split's higher if you
Right.
sell it internally.
Yeah.
And so that's where this 24-hour to advertise publicly thing even came from, because they don't want people to, I mean, it is a competition thing. So you're right, it's a sticky slope of what, there's lots of different, feelings about that whole thing,
Well, for us, it's like it's also profit.
Right.
But in general, how can we, is it just gonna be this way for the rest of the summer and we're just gonna have our buyers all the time? That just kind of.
I think I've been having frank conversations with this 2 buyers. So this one buyer, they've lost out and they understood. They said, we had a home contingency, we got it. And now they said, well, my house is sold on Sunday, so now we can be more aggressive with it. And and then the other piece of it is the other one, he's looking for a specific type of property, and he tends to run up against people who will go in contractor or a flipper or something like that. I mean, he's looking in the 1 to 150 range, but the stuff that he's been finding and looking at and we're putting offers in on, you know, he made an offer on the foreclosure that was out on the south side of EAA grounds. There were, I think, 17 offers on that house. Might have been 25. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Yes. Yeah. We offered $25,000 over ask and we lost it. Because we had an escalation clause and everything else. We lost it. Probably because he still wanted an inspection and all of that.
Right.
And now I think that's the reason we lost this one too, is because he went in, he's not contingent on anything. He's got great financing. And the only thing that was in there was a well test and an inspection. And I'll bet you somebody went in on a known inspection. And I can't do that. I can't do that morally ethically for my buyers.
Right.
And I'm a contractor. I could probably do the inspection for them on the things that matter. But I won't, because I'm not opening myself up to that liability.
I have one more command question.
Command question. Wait, we'll go back to this one real quick. Everybody got this new version, right? On how to do that? New version? Good. Don't make new opportunities.
So, new version, and then I just put all my new documents.
Yep, if I hit new version right here, and I will because I have to do this because I have the same thing. This one expired out. It's new construction. It expired out. I got to do a new listing. So I'll put here new listing June 2020. And I hit create new version. Now you will see it lists, it would, if I had things on that one, you'd see them all changed, but you can see here now, I can pull down, I can see the original listing, I can see the new listing, and then I can add files to that. And the same is the same for buyers and offers.
So I just add multiple files.
And then hit add, attach multiple files, and you can put all the new listing documents in there.
And then just send that.
Send that to-
email, so-
Yep, yep. Okay, all right. Connie, command question.
I want to send an email to everybody.
Okay, you want to send an email. What kind of an email?
Oh, this, you know, getting with.
Happy 4th of July. I want
new.
new listings, whatever it may be. Okay, right now, the easiest way to do that is to put everyone on the database on a one-step smart plan. Okay, you have two options, and I'm gonna take my shoes off for this one because it's gonna get complicated. You have two options right now. If you want to sign up for MailChimp, you can do a blast email to everyone in your database by putting them all on one email list and using MailChimp. MailChimp is a one audience is free. An audience is one list. So if you have a situation like that where you want to say, I'm just going to blast out to the entire database, irregardless of who, what, where, who they are, anything like that, you could use MailChimp. Okay? As long as you do not change that list for 7 days and you only have one list. The minute you try to add more than one list, you're going to get charged. And they have upped their rates to the point where I think it's like 4 lists or 3 lists is like $100 a month. Very expensive. Yes. Okay. The second option that you have is to put everybody on the database on a smart plan. Now, the kicker of that is adding them because you can only add them 50 at a time. So that's the kicker on it. But it is something that our team is doing. Christopher has 5,000 people on a smart plan right now that basically just fires off an email to 5,000 people. So you can do that. So in that scenario, what you would do is go in here and you'd create a new smart plan named database, email, whatever. Okay. Now, once you set that up, you should be able to go back in and edit it so that if you wanted to, you know, here's the listings for this month, here's the next thing I want to say next month, you should be able to edit that email. So once you set it up once, you should be able to keep firing it off. But you go in and create a whole database Now, the piece of this, and that's why I asked what kind of email are you doing, because these are not fancy dancy emails. Okay? These ones are not going to be fancy dancy, cool graphics. That's difficult. MailChimp, you've got more graphic-y stuff as an option. These are going to be send email. Okay? Here's your email. Type it out. Okay? Now, if you wanted to do this too, there is some fancier graphic emails, but if you wanted to say all your sellers in your database, all your buyer leads, there's a fancier one there. Happy birthday ones. If you want to send everything out promoting your app to everyone in your database, there's a fancier one there. But it's not, these are not editable at this point. Okay? If all you want to do is type in an email, you would enter the plan like I did, enter in a subject. Happy summer, whatever, doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, the page up. Okay, and then you would go in here and you would go hi, and then use the mail merge fields to customize it. So this is mail merge here. So you would go hi, first name, comma, and then type your email, and it will put in that. So it'll say hi, Connie, hi, Patty, hi, Debbie, as you go. Okay. And then you can add people to the smart plan and send it off. Okay. That's right now, the two ways to do it, depending on what your use case is. Questions on that? Make sense?
The fancier ones, you could do those the same way.
Yep, you can do those the same way. They're just not editable and they're like for specific things. So I did,
Postcard.
right, yeah. So I did like this promote app one here. Let's see if it'll let me in to see it. So I did this one where it promotes my app. Nope, I didn't finish it. If you go in and do the app promote one, it's just like, here's my app, it's really cool, download it, blah, blah, blah. And it's got the graphics embedded in it. The happy birthday one's the same way. The work with sellers, work with me sellers is, just kind of promoting all the great things that we offer as sellers. But again, it's not editable, so you need to make sure it's something you really want to send out. But those are more targeted, specific to groups of people, other than the promote my app. You could do the entire database that said promote my app. You could almost have a two-step smart plan then. You could do an initial one and then a promote my app, wait 7 days or wait 30 days and do another one. I mean, you could get your entire database. You could plan out 3 or 4 or 5 touches and, between setting up those emails, sure. As long as the content that you're putting in there is going to stay time applicable. That makes sense. That's the whole point of the smart plans, is to set them up and then they're set and your people are getting touched and you don't have to think about it. I have ones for my Facebook lead follow-ups. I'm about to generate one that does cold lead follow-ups that I was talking to that kind of fell off the face of the earth due to COVID or whatever. And I want to circle back. See what happens. Put them on a 10 days of pain kind of thing to try to reach out to them. Other command questions on any topic.
Listings.
Listings. What would you like to know about listings, Mr. Kevin?
I'm on step 5. I'm in the forms. I've got my seller in there. I've got the address. I'm on documents, and to actually get the individual documents now.
Okay, so if you're in listings, so you've set up your opportunity, you have everything entered in the details of the opportunity, just trying to track where you are here.
Yep.
You have everything entered into the documents of that opportunity.
Yep.
Come on, load.
And I just hit the documents and
Okay. So then you're
So
gonna
right-
want to go to the, oh, come on, load.
it says 0 of 18 documents uploaded.
Right. So now you need to, how, you want to type up the contracts or you have the contracts saved somewhere?
No, I want to start filling out the listing forms now to get ready to send them to the seller.
Okay. So you're gonna go, your screen looks like this now that I had it. You're gonna go over here that you should have a black button right here where it says
Yep.
go to transaction that says start a transaction.
Start a transaction.
Yep.
Yep.
You're gonna click on the start a transaction and that's gonna create the room for you in DocuSign. And then it'll take you here to this documents here. Yours isn't gonna have any documents in it yet.
And it used to autofill my DocuSign email address. Oh, there it is. It's just being slow.
Okay. I wish this casting would follow my screen. I gotta keep changing it. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay,
Now
so
it's-
now you're at the DocuSign spot, Kevin,
Yep,
with nothing in it, right?
correct.
Go over here to where it says add. By DocuSign forms.
Oh, your little minimized screen is right over that button.
Yep, unfortunately.
Okay, so add.
DocuSign forms.
Okay,
And then you should have this box here that pops up and you're gonna choose the group. And then you're gonna pick residential listing.
oh, wait a minute. So add DocuSign forms, DocuSign form library, or select DocuSign forms?
You're gonna go to DocuSign form groups, it says.
Mine says library.
Right, pull that down
Okay. All right, yep,
and you should see group.
yep,
And then under forms, pull that down and you should see
Okay.
residential listings.
yep. Okay,
And then you'll see all, just like we did in Loop, there's all the forms that are automatically in that, what the group that Peter puts together.
yep,
Hit select all and hit add. And your room should auto-populate with all, whatever, 13 forms, 14 forms there are.
yep.
Then you can go each one by one and fill them out. Don't
Okay.
worry about signatures. Just fill out all the details
Okay.
and stuff.
Then when I got all that done, do I hit envelopes?
When you get all that done, you're gonna select the documents by this little circle up here at the
Yep.
top,
Yep, select all.
and then hit that pen. That'll let's create your envelope and you can go forward with signatures.
Okay. All right,
Okay?
sounds good. I'll call
Then
you when I
me
get
if you have any
confused.
issues after that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you bet. Anybody else? We got a couple minutes yet. Anybody else have any other DocuSign questions or command questions or anything of the above? Bad. Bad, bad, bad.
I love the value tab because I could go in there and just quick shoot off the forms and stuff. And I feel like there's so many emails. And then like I just told her, I'm like, oh, I noticed the sellers looked at the forms but didn't sign. And she's like, well, I think you're waiting for you to sign. So it's that whole thing is just getting the normal.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to set it up that way. Now, if you don't like how many emails you're getting, you can go in here and change that. I took mine down too, because it was driving me crazy. If you go here under preferences, so under your little initials by preferences, go to this notifications box, and you can choose what you want to have an email sent on. I'm in DocuSign. In DocuSign, under your initials, then you'll see there's this whole list of things if you want it to be emailed to you or not. So someone views a document. I don't care if they view it. I only want to know when they're completed. Like I don't need those 700 other emails. I receive a document in my inbox. Yeah, I want to know that because I have given that DocuSign email out to a couple agents saying, here, just email it here. Or I give it to my client and say, email it here. Email me your pre-approval letter here, because then it just goes right in there and I don't have to mess with it. You know, those types of things I put in there. So you can change that. That's easy. The other piece of it is if they're waiting for you to sign, then you set your numbers up on your recipients wrong. I always put myself as 2. If I'm doing something where I want them to sign first and I'm going to do it, then I put myself as 2. If it's something that I know it doesn't matter, I put myself as 1. Now, DocuSign is smart enough, and I had this question asked, so we'll finish off the day with this. DocuSign is smart enough that when you put yourself in the recipients list and you hit send, it'll pop up with a little dialog box that says, do you want to sign now? You do not have to wait until that email gets to your email, go through the email and log back in. You can actually just go right in there and it'll say, do you want to sign right now? And you can go, yep, and then go ahead and sign. Yes. So if you put yourself in that recipients box, it will figure that out and ask you if you want to sign. Okay? Sure, very well. What's up?
He's like, well, there's just a lot to take for you.
Yeah, you got to do them a couple times. I am down to, I can do an offer just as fast in this as I can do it in a dot loop now. Just as fast. No issues. Yep. What's up?
I was trying to improve like old stuff
Import old stuff from.
like from that just so I can just keep all the
Okay.
information. You know, from past contracts or whatever.
Do you have your dot loop connected to command?
It says it's connected and I try to import it.
That's
So-
call support.
Okay.
That's a call to
Is
support,
there a way around
unfortunately.
it? Can I just do it in one? Or no?
You could go into your dot loop and download them onto your computer and then upload them into command. Yes. Just don't worry about that little bridge and just download them all and upload them all. The other thing that you can do is you can go into your dot loop. It's going to mean you're going to create rooms in DocuSign, but if you go into dot loop, you can, I don't know if I ever walked Oshkosh through this. If you go into dot loop and you create, you know, you can add people in dot loop, right? So in dot loop, my name is Sarah DocuSign. So I have myself, right? But then I also have Sarah DocuSign with that DocuSign email.
Yeah.
And then I go in, I select everything out of a loop, share it as PDF to this, and then go dump it into a room. And then you would have to create all those opportunities in, you know, all your old stuff. But I think you're creating yourself more work that you don't need to do. If you're worried about just archiving it all, just download them all onto your computer and save them all as a file.
Sure. It just didn't update into commands. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know. I just wanted to keep like all my numbers together for everything.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted the old stuff.
It's not the, like, as far as your goals and all that stuff, it's not gonna sync from that anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's pulling from your WinMore, not your command for goals.
So like for Chris, we tried to do that too, import one, like, you know, if you're gonna
Yep.
create a You import from .loop, and it will create the opportunity under the
Legacy.
legacy one.
Yes.
So it will create the opportunity for you, but yeah, then you gotta go back to the loop and email all. And you can create the room, so from there, so that's what we did is, you know, had .loop make the opportunity to start with, and then we went and made the room from the documents tab, and then we went back to .loop and just emailed all of it.
Over to DocuSign.
And then.
That is slick. That is slick, just emailing it that way. I even had a couple agents,
I'm doing that right now.
the agent that I sold a listing to uses .loop. And so now, of course, I'm trying to always put it into the loop, right? Because I have a loop account. And so then I just sit there and go, whoop, share it, right? And I just Sarah DocuSign it right over because I need it in DocuSign. So that's that. All right. You bet.
One quick question, Sarah. Does DocuSign automatically take care of electronic consent now?
You still have to do the form per Peter. When they first log into DocuSign, they are given a little disclaimer. They have to check the box and hit yes, they agree. But Peter's still requiring the paper form.
Okay, do you know how long he'll be requiring that if it's automatic in DocuSign?
That would be a question for him. I know Matt Tranel from Stevens Point or from Rapids was also trying to get him to get rid of it, but yeah, that's a question for Peter.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Form. Because when your client logs into DocuSign for the first time, there's a disclaimer and a consent. Yeah. And so they have to do it. Now, when they log in for the second time to do it, they don't have to do it. It's just the first time that they do it. So now, since they do that and .loop didn't, can we get rid of that form? And other brokers don't even require that form. Even in our ownership group, let's just say that there are brokers that don't do anywhere near the disclosures that we do. So, yeah. So, all right, I'm signing off. I will see y'all later.
Thank you, Sarah.
Bye.